The highly anticipated Wicked sequel, Wicked for Good, is finally here. So today, let's see if it's worth your time. As an angry mob rises against the Wicked Witch, Glinda and Elphaba will need to come together one final time. They will need to truly see each other with honesty and empathy if they are to change themselves and all of Oz for good. Wicked Part 1 really surprised me. I didn't know much of the musical. I heard some of the songs through social media, but I was really impressed with Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande in their roles. And it left me excited for Wicked for Good. I don't think Wicked for Good is as good as that first movie, but still a nice conclusion for this storyline. And a lot of the events line up with The Wizard of Oz, which we've seen kind of alluding to all of that, and the posters and some of the pictures, with the Scarecrow and the Tin Man and all of that. If you've seen the musical, you know where everything is going to go. But this is a much darker film compared to that first movie, where that first movie had a lot of very vibrant, upbeat songs, and the overall just kind of like atmosphere and story was starting to transition to a more deeper story for Elphaba. Dives deeper into a more dramatic personal story for Elphaba and Glinda. And once again, Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande shine in their roles. More so Ariana Grande, because in that first film, she is very bubbly. She's very positive and upbeat constantly throughout. Somebody that appeared in a Nickelodeon show and then went straight into music. She is a really good actress. I loved her mannerisms, her facial expressions. Everything she did within that first movie was really good. And in the second film, we understand that she is now in this position of being Glinda the Good, and she has to sell this presence of being something really positive and encouraging for the people of Oz. Even if she may not agree with certain things that's going on, and she has her relationship with Fiyero, she's still trying to have that positive atmosphere for everybody. But there is much more of a dramatic role for her as she starts to realize what's going on, what's the right side and wrong side of all of this, and there definitely is that more emotional weight to that character that she handles so well. I do think that she'll be nominated once again for her performance, and it is such a good one. And Cynthia Erivo once again gives an outstanding performance. She is great as the Wicked Witch. Here in the second film, she is trying to help out the animals, and she still has that relationship that's very secretive when it comes to Fiyero, but she's trying to have people realize what the wizard has done, and that also leads to more of a realization of who she is and what she actually wants, and that has a lot of tension between Glinda and Elphaba. Moments that really look at that concept of good versus evil. When you have evil, it's someone that you can root for, and you're somebody that you want to see develop throughout the movie. But then you have that good side, something that's going to be encouraging for people. And this movie truly understands that good versus evil aspect. And it started off really good in that first film, but just goes so much deeper into this second movie. Once again, John M. Chu crafts this movie with such care and detail. It feels like a lived-in world, and just the background is just so amazing to look at. There's so much attention to detail. The bright green and pink colors to Oz just pop and give it that very vibrant feel. But like I said, this is a much darker story, and so the color grading and the set designs, it matches the story by giving it a more bleaker feel to it all. And I can't tell which songs were original or not. Like I said, I haven't seen the musical. I can't tell you if this was an original song for the musical or if this was an original song for the movie. Not many of the songs felt like they just hit as good as that first movie. Like, there were some really catchy songs for that first film, very personal songs as well. There are some good songs in here. I really like the one with Jeff Goldblum and Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande. about being wonderful. I really like that one. And No Good Deed is also really good. But some of the other songs, they're good, and they have great performances from Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo. But I just don't think they were as catchy or meaningful as previous songs from the first movie. Now, the whole idea of having Dorothy in here, I was very excited for. I liked what they did with the Tin Man, the Scarecrow, Cowardly Lion, and Dorothy. Now, I see where they were going with some of this, that John M. Chu had said that this isn't Dorothy's story. So they weren't going to show her face. They were just going to show like the backside of her, and you know that she's there. And they just really brush over certain aspects to Dorothy, like the house falling on Nessa, and Glinda just saying, all right, Dorothy, you're on the road now to the wizard, and Elphaba wanting the shoes. And then we see the Tin Man and the Scarecrow and the Cowardly Lion, they're all at the wizard. And I understand that, like, it's not their story, but it plays such an integral part to the development of Elphaba, because she wants the shoes from Nessa, and that's where she starts to become more angry and more in line with what we have seen from The Wizard of Oz, the original movie. And it does really complicate a lot of the stories for The Wizard of Oz. Like, if she knows Fiyero is the Scarecrow, when you look at the Wizard of Oz movie, like, she sets the Scarecrow on fire. Like, that would not have happened in Wicked for Good. So they really had to brush over certain things because of how that movie was put together. You can't really follow certain events in Wicked for Good. But like I said, I do understand that they wanted to not have like such focus on Dorothy. But I think realizing the importance of Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz would have been nice for fans. It had that huge part in the end, the conclusion of Wicked for Good. So just having that awareness and everything, I think we need a little more scenes here and there. I would have really liked that just on a personal level, but I do think that it's integral to what's going on. But certain scenes, when it does come to that, you can tell that it's important, but they just brush over it very quickly when it comes to the Tin Man and who the Tin Man is, and the Scarecrow. Those are important characters to not only The Wizard of Oz, but for Wicked. If you have not seen the musical and you don't know exactly what's going to happen, these characters are already established characters in Wicked, and so they just really brush over them. So taking the film into two parts, the second movie, it rushes through it pretty quickly, and at times it does feel a bit slow as well. It's very inconsistent with its pacing when it's more focused on that relationship between Glinda and Elphaba. That's very strong. I also thought the story with Elphaba and the wizard, like, that moved pretty quickly. And then the characters that eventually became the Tin Man and Scarecrow, that was pretty quick and didn't give enough room to breathe. It just felt like they threw it at you and then that was it, and they didn't really discuss it so much after that. And so it being shorter than that first one, but still fairly long, there was multiple times that they either rushed through things or they were very slow on things, and it was very odd, very inconsistent with what they were trying to accomplish. But I still really liked Wicked for Good. I loved all the performances, the songs, the attention to detail from John M. Chu, the choreographed moments. It all just looks so fabulous and breathtaking. I love the colors in here. Although we didn't get to see Dorothy's face, it's still cool to see that that character existed within Wicked, even if it complicated The Wizard of Oz. There will be some people that prefer Wicked for Good over Wicked Part 1, but I love that more lively, bubbly feel to that first movie, and introducing the characters and establishing those relationships But the second film is good at strengthening all of it, going deeper into who they are and what they want to accomplish, and giving a more dramatic, deeper story. And I do think fans of Wicked Part 1 will enjoy Wicked for Good. I'm going to go ahead and give Wicked for Good a B+. Thank you guys for checking my review for Wicked for Good, the newest Wicked film. Have you guys seen it by chance? What'd you think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below, and stay tuned for more up and coming content like this. My name is Justin Watches Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.